Oh, for the love of God, why am I recording? I promised myself I wasn't going to do this again. I'm making a video, I guess. Why? Why is this happening? Alright, so, this is Dr. Blue, super smooth. This is Dr. making stuff, the Blue Wizard. Blah. I've honestly considered changing my YouTube channel now that it's just a shitposting channel over to my real name. I've thought about that. But then, in the future, I might be not chronically depressed, at least not as bad. And then maybe I would make videos I gave a shit about again and want them to not be, influenced by my identity. What you have to understand is the reason I've never gone by my real name anywhere is because I want to separate the art from the artist. I don't want people to, have to worry about who I am as a person when consuming the media that I create. But nobody gives a shit about anything I make anyway, so I might as well put my real name on things, right? Yeah, this is another YouTube video. I wasn't gonna make one of these ever, but now I guess I am. Let's see, random subjects that we could talk about. I have chronic depression. Let's see. I was making a video game and I had drawn a bunch of drawings for it, and then I got full of beans, and now I'm not making a video game right now. Does anybody actually want to see a new thing? Are there people out there that really care about a new monster catching game? Would you honestly want to play a fan Pokemon game, basically? I mean, are you interested in that? Tell me your thoughts. So let's see, I can make this video about Star Wars. People like Star Wars, right? I like Star Wars, I think. I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan. I kind of know all of the things. I had made a recording for a video about Star Wars morality or whatever a while ago, but I decided it was too long, so I just didn't release it as a video. Because it would have been a lot of editing for not a lot of payback. Because the videos I put a lot of effort in, nobody ever watches them. So it's why do effort when I could just put in this amount of effort and have the same 11 views either way. Hashtag XD smiley face. Let's get 25 views on this video. Whoa. Let's have 9 million subscribers, guys. Let's do it. Maybe the algorithm will find me, and then I'll be loved finally. Oh man. I'm not really having a mental breakdown right now. I'm just kind of sort of having a energy-less day, I suppose you could say. You ever meet that person who just doesn't fucking function if they're not in a relationship? If they're not in a relationship, they just lose their mind and they're like, oh my god, what do I do with my life? Because they're built like a puppy. They're built like a puppy and they just need the attention, or else they implode. That's me. I'm like that. Which is kind of a pain in the ass because, to be honest, I don't like people that much. So needing constant attention from them in order to function isn't great. Especially because I'm an introvert, which means sometimes I also have to fuck off away from people. But then when I fuck off away from people to recharge my dealing with people batteries, I'm always having this existential crisis of, oh my god, why am I here? What am I doing? Why do I hate myself so much? Oh no. Mental illness is fun because, sometimes people overreact to it and they're like, oh, you're mentally ill, therefore you're just incompetent. And it's no, it's not that I don't know how reality works or that I'm not in touch with reality. It's that literally my thoughts and feelings don't relate proportionally to that reality. I'm not a psychopath. I'm not dealing with, what's the word? Psychosis? Yeah, that's it. psychosis. Yeah, I'm not tripping balls. Like, I'm not hearing or seeing things. Like, I'm in the world, dude. It's just that it hurts more than it probably should to be in the world, I guess, is the best summary of that. No, wait, this was supposed to be a Star Wars video. Shut up. No, it's not. Maybe someday I'll release a Star Wars video when people actually give a shit about this channel. I guess maybe when I have an editor in the future and I can make regular videos and like make rants into things. I have conversations with a buddy of mine that like could make videos, could make for really good content if they were like podcasts, because sometimes I have like 47-hour conversations with my friend. So maybe that would be cool. I guess I like to do 2 or 3 hour phone calls. Isn't that weird? And I like weirdly anachronistic. Like, who talks on the phone now? Well, I do, because I hate texting, because texting is writing, and I hate writing, and I much prefer to hear people's voice. I just realized I have this weird nasally depression thing going on. Give me a second. Let me try to pep up. All right. See, this is the Blue Wizard signing on. Hi. So, let's do a poll. What do you guys want me to do a video about? That worked last time. I said, what do you guys want me to do a video about? And, sure. Speaking of which, propose a new name for the channel. Should I be Dr. Blue, fusing my 2 previous identities together? Should I go by my real name from now on? And then write off this channel as an avenue for art forever? Should I just get balls and expose myself to the possibility of being canceled, but then I put my name on things and get to have one identity instead of like 7 different identities? That could be cool, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I really don't want to be canceled. I'm afraid of it because I have a lot of adverse opinions. I have a lot of opinions about things. Like, I talk out loud a lot. Like, whatever I think, I say. It's a real problem. So, like, what if I say something controversial, and then somebody gets mad at me for it, and then they're like, you don't get to have a life anymore because we got mad at you. See, that's a really concerning thing to me. That's the reason why. But I'm thinking of consolidating a little bit and maybe doing like one name to rule them all, one name to bind them. I've had this conversation in a previous video, but it's something I keep coming back to because I have so many now. I have so many different names. This channel is like interesting because everybody who watches it already knows who the fuck I am in real life, which is kind of depressing. Like, I put all this effort into like not showing my face on here, but then like no one even gives a shit. So it's like, okay, I'm such a secret man. You'll never know who I am. And then like nobody watches my videos. So, oh wait, an honest conversation about mental health. We could do that. Okay, so here's the thing, right? I'm like a starving artist who deals with like depression all the time, but it's not like I'm one of these super talented starving artists that like when I die all of my work is going to sell like Van Gogh's, or like I'm going to be like the next Picasso or something. Like, I've made all this great art, and then when I could die, like it's going to be magically appreciated. I'm just going to, like, in my obituary, like when I eventually die, they'll just be like, here lies this dude. He's an artist. He's survived by his family, I guess. That's if I die now. Like, if I die in the future, then who knows? Maybe I could be successful at something, and they'll talk about that. But I'm saying, if the depression ends up winning for whatever reason, then yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't think I'll be remembered for much. It'll be like, that's that guy that almost did a thing. Nobody gets remembered for almost doing stuff. I guess that would be the overarching point. So I've been playing Metroid Prime lately. That'd be cool if I could like upload video of that. I wish I had an editor, like somebody who knows the technical side of things, because then I could have a popular YouTube channel, and that'd be awesome. I've always wanted one of those. And recording audio is a lot easier than like making video games. So I would go back to this in the heartbeat if I like could, but I just can't keep making shitty videos because it makes me depressed. But then again, making shitty video games is making me equally depressed. See, I want to be good at whatever I do. Like, I try really hard. Like, I put my all into every project, but then when the project doesn't end up working out, it's just like, oh, I guess my all isn't good enough. I guess I'm not good enough. But the reality is that most people who make stuff, like, have money, are friends, are experts, or they've gone to college, or whatever. They have some kind of leg up that I just don't fucking have. Meaning that I get to struggle futilely against everything and nothing at the same time and get absolutely nothing done forever and always. I'm 29 years old. I am 29 fucking years old, and my life is still like this. Is this the experience of most millennials? I know most of us are sitting at home at like our mom's or grandmother's house or whatever, or most of us don't have cars. Most of us make less than 15% of the total wealth of the country if you're in America, I guess. Like, us 29 to 30-year-olds are really not an important demographic right now, are we? And usually that's the time when you, like, change the world and shit. Isn't that weird? Like, our parents were already, like, actual adults by the time they were our age. Like, if you're around to have seen the first episode of Pokemon, I'm sorry, but your entire generation's a fucking loser. You know? And then you've got, like, people on the internet that give a shit about things that nobody gives a shit about. Like cancel culture and woke culture and all the things that you don't really give a shit about, but you pretend to be down with so you don't get fucking canceled. You know? But, like, it doesn't really affect anybody or anything ever. Like, even the people, like, the minorities who it supposedly affects would rather be doing, like, anything else rather than, like, bullshitting on the internet about stuff. But they, like, feel compelled to. Because, like, if you have a problem, bitching about it helps, right? But it doesn't really, because, like, you know what actually helps is changing the world. But none of us have that. None of us have the capacity to change the world right now, because we're all just, like, depressed 20-somethings without jobs. So instead, we sit on the internet and complain about stuff that nobody gives a shit about, right? Right, guys? Right. Viva la Twitter! Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And I don't really have a problem with that, right? Like, I think that generally developing more empathy for people who are going through stuff is important. Like, I have mental health problems, right? And, like, someday somebody will be like, oh, it's so amazing how you've remained strong despite wanting to kill yourself all the time, and you have your mental problems, and you managed to get through it, and blah, 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 blah. And I'll be appreciative. That person's heart is in the right place. They're, like, trying to empathize and understand how hard it was, and trying to appreciate the strides they've made in spite of the difficulties that I've had. And it's like, you know, there's a well-meaningness to it all for some people. But a lot of times it's just a cynical, like, let's bitch about something. Like, why was Gina Carano fired, right? Like, we know she wasn't actually saying anything racist, right? She's just being a Republican. But we got pissy about it because we wanted to, like, fire somebody from Star Wars. And we couldn't fire Kathleen Kennedy because, like, she's too high up there. So we wanted to aim a little bit lower. Isn't that weird? Like, the person who made the 3 bad Star Wars movies is still working for Lucasfilm. But, like, we don't give a shit about that, I guess. And it's true, mostly conservative people want to take down Kathleen Kennedy, and I guess mostly liberals wanted to take down Gina Carano. But, like, I think most people just wanted to get the thrill of firing somebody from Star Wars, right? Like, that's the actual thing. People just wanted to be able to pick on somebody richer than them and, like, bring them down. Like, I don't really need to fire somebody from Lucasfilm because I don't really give a shit. I'd rather just, like, have Star Wars be good. But then again, this is how I feel about life as well. It's like I'm, like, an aggressive, moderate, and egalitarian. Like, I just want the world to be a good place where everybody feels loved and taken care of and is able to be who they are without any bullshit and, you know, whatever. In my perfect world, there wouldn't be a woke because everybody would just be treating everybody with empathy and respect. And, you know, if somebody doesn't know something because they're whatever the opposite of woke is, I think based is the term that I've heard. If somebody's like, I said something ignorant, insert ignorant thing here, if somebody said like the word like transvestite, maybe the first time they've heard of trans people is they've watched like Rocky Horror Picture Show, and they're like, I'm a sweet transvestite, whatever, from transsexual Transylvania. They've watched Rocky Horror Picture Show, and they've never maybe heard the correct terms for those things. So they say it, right? They say the word transvestite, and then people are like, oh my God, that is not what people are called anymore. Right? That's how the conversation currently goes, and then that person is fucked. But like, as opposed to that, what we could do instead is just be like, actually, we don't say the word transvestite as often now. The word that we use instead is transsexual, usually, and even then, we usually just shorten that to trans. We don't call people transvestites anymore. It's seen as offensive. Yeah, and then if they're like, oh, but I really like the word transvestite, so I'm gonna keep saying it, then we just like, oh, okay, well, I mean, they're not saying it in a hurtful context, they're just saying the wrong word, right? Unless they're like, oh my God, let's have all the transvestites fall in a hole, then that sucks, that's horrible, right? But if they're just like, oh, well, I like Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I like trans people, and I'm just calling them by this anachronistic word. It's like your old grandparents saying the word Jap. You know what I mean? It's like, if you lived through World War II, I think you get to say that word even though it's offensive. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we shouldn't cancel culture people for like just existing. Maybe. Sometimes people say things and they don't like mean any offense by it. They're just saying the wrong word. Sometimes I don't know. I think the same empathy that we want to have people that are different, like the same empathy that we want to be given towards like marginalized groups, has to be extended to people who cannot adapt to our crazy newfangled 21st century ways. Right? I mean, it used to be you could kind of say whatever offensive shit you wanted to, and maybe like a progressive person would look at you sideways, or maybe they'd say, hey, you shouldn't treat people badly, right? If they were actually being treated badly. If they just said something like that wasn't progressive, they would just say like, you could use the term Native American or whatever. Like, there could be a correction without like I'm going to take your job because you were an asshole kind of thing. And also there's degrees, right? Like, just saying the wrong thing is not equal to actually holding a malicious viewpoint of like another group of people. I think we can agree. Like, fucking comparing the way people are blackballed and canceled in cancel culture to the Holocaust, while not couth on the part of Gina, was not equivalent to saying that the Holocaust didn't happen, which is something that actual racist people say. Like, I'm pretty sure we can agree that there are degrees of ignorance and even intent when it comes to making little faux pas here and there. I don't know why I end up talking about cancel culture now every time I make one of these. I think because like one of my main bars to being myself online and to like making art is that I'm concerned all the time that everything that I put out there is something that can be like used to fuck me over in the future. Like, I think about it every time I release a video, like, what if I say something that's going to really upset people? And people are like, I have friends and stuff, and very diverse friends, and people are like, oh, well, no, you're not going to offend anybody, just say what you want to. And I'm like always worried about it. Like, I'm a progressive person, and I'm scared to talk on the internet. Isn't that weird? Because I'm afraid other progressive people will come and like crucify me. Because I don't, I don't know if it's because I have tism. That's what I call autism, folks. It's cool slang. I have the tism. Right? Yeah. But, like, I don't know if it's because I have tism or because I'm chronically depressed or because I've been through so much bullshit that I just can't be fucking asked because I have, like, post-traumatic stress. I've been through a lot in life. I don't know why, but I just don't give a fuck. So I end up saying whatever I think. Or maybe there's just not much of a filter there. I don't know if it's because I really don't care or if it's because I just have no choice but to say whatever popped into my head. But I'm very concerned about making videos now because what if I What if I say or do something untoward? And then there's the idea that, like, maybe nobody cares about what I'm saying at all. Like, I might be able to make things, like, I might be able to, like, say whatever I want for all of time if nobody ever watches these. I mean, that's a fact, right? Like, I don't have to necessarily ever have to worry about cancel culture if I've not started in the first place. You have to be somewhere to be canceled. You have to be on a flight in order to be canceled. Right. So, what was our point again? Oh, yeah, making a video after not making a video for a while being super duper depressed, like, super duper down. Yeah, I'm not functioning. I'm not in a relationship anymore, so I have no energy for anything. Like, it's weird to need somebody to, like, be your battery, in a way, to, like, be able to, like, charge you up and make you excited about things. I don't know. See, the thing is that I'm very careful about whose, like, love I accept, like, how, like, whose energy I take in, who I trust. I can usually only let somebody, like, deeply in, one, like, at a time. So there's usually, like, one person that I keep as, like, kind of a connection to, like, humanity. And then I'll have friends and stuff outside of that, but, like, it's hard to feel they're caring for me as much. I don't know. Maybe that's something that I used to protect myself, because if I believed somebody cared about me and then they betrayed me, then I'd feel really bad about it. So I only feel that people care about me in small doses, so that if they end up betraying me, I won't give a shit. But then, like, there's some people that I want to actually believe care about me as much as they really do, and I'll let myself believe that about, like, one person at a time, and that's usually, like, my romantic other, because, I mean, if you're letting somebody in really deeply emotionally, it's easy to let them in physically as well. But, oh wow, what am I talking about in this video? Oh my god, why am I being so personal? I shouldn't probably put this out there, but I'm probably going to anyways. What if this was the video that the algorithm picked up on and they're like, ha 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 ha, your channel's popular now, and I get to be like, oh my god, why did they do this to me? You know, but I'd keep making content because I'm a fucking shill and I want you guys to like me. Like, I simp for the audience, totally, whatever. Don't get me twisted, YouTube. If the algorithm wants to shine its light on my channel, I can be started and canceled in the same fucking day, right? Like, who cares? You have to give a shit about other people's opinions to be affected by that. I only care if you like the thing. I don't really care if you dislike it. Right? And some people say, well, that's really a shitty way to feel about your audience. But, like, think about it. You know what the average person is like. Not you, of course, you beautiful, sexy beast, but the person next to you. You know how dumb they are, so why would you want them to judge your content? Think about it. But yeah, I had friends that were concerned about me today. I told a story from my personal life, and somebody was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. You're crazy. Oh, no. And they, like, told another friend of mine what I was talking about. My other friend was like, oh, no, that's pretty par for the course. I guess that's normal. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm glad I didn't actually lose it. But I was actually concerned for a second because, like, I got a little offended. My friend was all like, oh, you're nuts. And I'm like, oh, God, am I? You know, I have mental health issues. I could actually be nuts. But then my other friend was like, no, that's actually pretty normal. Like, I can see that making sense. Like, it's weird, but, like, you're weird, and everybody in the situation's weird, and it makes logical sense, even if it doesn't make, like, social sense. And it's like, okay, cool. All right, so I'm not, like, completely out of touch with fucking reality then. Sweet. But I don't know why I'm making a YouTube video. I guess because I felt like making something, but, like, who gives a shit? Like, why am I making something on the internet when I said I wasn't going to anymore? I tell you what do you do when you need inspiration? That can be the question. Like, okay, we'll do three questions. 1, what do you think I should do next on this channel? 2, do you think I should make the name Dr. Blue or some other name because the Blue Wizard isn't panning out? Like, if you type it in, you get results for not this channel. And 3, what should I do to get inspired and want to actually make things again? Because I haven't been making things for the last month and a half. This is the Blue Doctor Wizard something or other signing out. Goodbye.